all you motherfuckers. My 49ers lost, yo. Smash the like button. We back. All my team lost. I know that makes him. I know that makes some of y'all so happy. Nah, it was a good game. He said, "I'm sorry, broski." Nah, it's all good. Damn, Mahomes, he's a beast, bro. I ain't no hater. I give credit where credit's due. Mahomes a beast. Andy Ruiz. I mean, why I keep see? I'm I'm caught up in boxing. Andy Reid. I said, motherfucker, Andy Ruiz. That motherfucker, he would have ate at the Super Bowl and shit. The way he looked versus Joshua. No, it was a good game. Bro, that's why it's like a fight. You know, it's like boxing, football. You got to be good for all 4 quarters, just like fucking around with Wilder. You got to be good. You got to be perfect. Oh, my God. For all 12 rounds. You can't have no lapses. We lost it all in the 4th quarter. But there's always next year. We gonna sip a little something. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to sip a little wine. It's okay. We're going to talk some boxing, too. That was a good game. They beat us. I will say, you know, I ain't big on making a bunch of excuses and shit, but some of them calls was never going our way. That shit was cap. We did some things that we could have definitely improved on, but some of them calls, it was like, see, this was getting weird in sports, like with NBA and like the NBA Finals and then Super Bowl and stuff. We were winning by 10 points against a team that's known to come back. I get that. But every single call pretty much benefited them. And Jimmy Garoppolo got hit helmet to helmet, no call. He got pushed after he ran out of bounds, no call. Like, we weren't getting we wasn't getting calls for shit, bro. Richard Sherman needs to hang him up. Nah. He got burned, though. He was getting burned. Dude was just fast. Bro. Nah, he was just fast. Dude was here. He was just fast. Bro, he got burnt. Wide open and shit. See? It's just like boxing. That speed will get you. Them fast motherfuckers. That was a good game, but I feel like they were let back in the game a little bit with some of the calls, but they played well. They played well for sure. The other thing, like with the Super Bowl that I want my Niners to be, is Andy Reid was, bro, he was bold. It was 4th and 1, and he was like, we going for it. He didn't think twice about it. See, the Niners, they did kind of like LeBron, and then you have Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant had that kill switch. He had that Jordan that I'm taking the final shot. LeBron James, one of my criticisms for him, as great of a player he is sometimes he'll defer, you know, and he'll pass the ball. And you the team captain, you the man. You take the final shot, trust in your shot, you know. And I feel like the Niners played kind of like LeBron, where they kind of played it soft. In the second half, there was like a minute 49, minute 50 on the clock. And we had 3 timeouts, didn't use it, and they let the clock burn down. You know, they let like 45 seconds go off the clock or whatever it was, then kick the ball, and then we receive it with not much time, so we just go into the locker room at halftime. Bro, it's like any given Sunday, like boxing, football, these are a game of like milliseconds and inches. How you have that's not good time management when you have 3 timeouts about to enter halftime. And you have a minute 50, you could get some shit done. Don't against a team, the comeback kids like the fucking KC Chiefs. Why would you squander almost 2 minutes? You know what I'm saying? Or a minute and a half, or whatever it was. Why would you just, you know, not try to use your timeouts, move the ball, maybe even get in field goal range, see if you can get a touchdown, you know, and go into the locker room ahead instead of 10 up. That was just stupid to me. That was just stupid because that was plenty of time to string up a drive. Because, see, it's just like boxing. That's why football is good, too, because it's like a strategy. It's like I hate when I see a fighter and then they start going for it in the 12th round. You've been getting your ass whooped this whole time. You know, I feel like the same thing is like when teams are desperate, they just start, playing like that. You got to play against a team that's known to come back, like the KC Chiefs. You got to play them tough. There ain't no breaks. 4 hard quarters. You know what I'm saying? You had plenty of time. So I thought that was soft, like a soft call from Shanahan to basically just go into the locker room dead even. That don't make sense to me. I would at least try to score. You got the ball. But they were thinking like, oh, it's a tie game. Let's not risk it. We'll get the ball because they deferred for the kick. So they're like, oh, after halftime, we'll get the ball back. But you got to bury the Chiefs. The Chiefs, the Chiefs are more like Wilder. They can do, like, you know what I'm saying? Like in one quarter, there's certain quarterbacks throughout the sport of box. I mean, I keep saying boxing. I talk boxing so much. My brain be thinking boxing like around the clock. There's certain quarterbacks and teams that can just explode and have one bomb-ass quarter, and it's like, damn, like Russell Wilson, Tom Brady for sure, Brett Favre was like that, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, like guys like that, these types of quarterbacks, they can just make stuff happen in one quarter, like be down by a reasonable amount and explode in one quarter, make all the right plays, move the ball, boom, 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 4 plays, 3 plays, get a touchdown, and then have one stop and make them punt, turnover on down, and be right back in the game. 4th quarter, Brady, beast. So, learning lesson for us. Lamar Jackson, bro, if you notice this, the textbook quarterback is almost becoming obsolete if you think about it. It's like the last of okay, so Andrew Luck, he retired. He retired kind of with injuries and stuff, said, I ain't doing this to my body. You got I keep saying Tim Bradley. You got Tom Brady, who's, really in the 4th quarter of his career. He's in the final chapter. He got to try to get a ring, maybe switch teams, whatever. So you got Tom Brady. So he's on the 4th quarter of his career. You got Aaron Rodgers probably in the 3rd, 4th quarter of his career. Who else is there? That's kind of Drew Brees. Like these guys have been in the league like 15 plus years, So they're elite quarterbacks, and they can play a Big Ben. Thank you. He moves a little bit. He moves somewhat for the Steelers, but these guys are kind of like 3rd, 4th quarter of their career. I don't really see them playing for years to come. Motherfuckers but if you look at the new league, you got Jimmy Garoppolo. After his injury, he's been more in pocket quarterback, but most of the other guys like Russell Wilson, Lamar, the Texans quarterback Deshaun, Cam Newton, definitely Patrick Mahomes, they're all scrambling quarterbacks that can pass too. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the league is kind of going to. And also, I noticed the league is going to like big quarterbacks is big. Back in the day, these motherfuckers was like Al Bundy size and shit. Al Bundy high. They got some quarterbacks. They be like 6'4", 6'5", stuff like that. So they're getting that mobile, like wildcat type of quarterback where they're athletic as fuck. Like Mahomes, that's what makes him dangerous. Is he could just say he needs to pick up 1 yard. He could just break off and just snap the ball and just start running. It's hard to get a read on that. Russell Wilson be doing that too. So, yeah, the quarterbacks are definitely evolving. The Black Channels. Good game, though. We had a good season. I ain't mad. I'm not even, like, mad like I thought it was going to be. Look, I got this salami. I know it probably looked crazy on the camera, but... He said Al Bundy got 4 touchdowns in a single game. Facts. Damn, this salami hitting from Costco. Mm-hmm. Hope you guys enjoy the Super Bowl, though. Smash the like button. Yeah, we just working. Richard Sherman was getting burned, though. He kind of admitted that on social media anyway. Man, this motherfucker Damn, this salami is good. Hey, if you guys go to Costco, that salami, that salami's hitting. You know, I know Mahomes is he's the MVP for that game, for what he did for y'all, for KC. But you know who's low key, like quiet as kept? You know who is like a big playmaker for y'all Chiefs? Number 95, Chris Jones. That big motherfucker was batting some shit down, bro. He was annoying for the Niners. Nah, 95, bro. Jimmy Garoppolo was passing. Bro, how tall is he? I think he's like 6'6", but fuck, how long is his arms? Bro, he was just putting his hands in the sky, knocking shit down. Like Garoppolo was trying to throw, trying to pass and shit. And number 95, Chris Jones, bro, he was going crazy. Look at Kane trying to put salt in the wound. Anyway, yeah, he was going ham. Bro, his wingspan must be ridiculous. He knocked down 2 key dead, and he was like batting the shit out of him. Yeah, it sucks. Damn, this salami is good. But let's talk about it. What's up, Mir? Yeah, he was pivotal on y'all line. They should have ran the ball a lot. Bro, I told my dad that. And he was like, no. He was saying that Garoppolo was missing reads, which was true. But my opinion, I think we abandoned the run game in the last part of the third quarter, fourth quarter. We would run it, get positive yards. You know, sometimes get 1 or 2 yards, but sometimes we were getting 5 yards. We were getting 8 yards, 6 yards. And it would be like 2nd and 5, and then you kept relying on Jimmy Garoppolo to pass. It was just stupid. I mean, he was getting hit. He was getting drilled. Chris Jones was knocking shit out the sky. Yeah, smash your like, bro. Damn, this salami is hitting. This is addictive. Y'all gotta get a charcuterie from Costco. They activated Jeff Wilson Jr., still didn't run the ball. And if you looked at it throughout, this is what I was trying to tell my pops. The first quarter, the run game, they didn't really neutralize the run game, but they neutralized Garoppolo in the second half. So I would have not when it was 24-20, but before that, I would have ran it a lot more. And it makes you less predictable when you interchange it. You get what I'm saying? Like Garoppolo just kept like he would run, like the first down they would run, and then it'd be pass, kick the ball type shit. Come on, bro. He said the story's going to be how Shanahan choked. Yeah. They said he gave up 50-0 in this game, this Super Bowl game, and our last one with the Ravens. Crazy. But on the bright side, it was a good game. On the bright side, it's still Niners gang. On the bright side, I seen at least 2 Wilder Fury commercials. Bro, what is DAZN? I need to know from y'all. What is DAZN gonna do to compete with pure, unadulterated promotion, like everybody and their mama watching Super Bowl, which is an annual thing? Like, I don't know if Eddie Hearn, because he's not from here and all that. I don't think. Actually, I'm almost positive. I don't know. I'm almost positive. Like, some of these British dudes, they don't understand what American, like, holidays and like sporting days, what they are. Because I seen that the dude that Jake Paul knocked out, the Gibb dude, right? And he said his fight with Jake Paul would be bigger than the Super Bowl. Boy, if you don't, like, I don't care how the fuck big you think you are on YouTube. Your fight with Jake Paul barely. It didn't even get promotion like Logan Paul KSI. You know that shit is not bigger than motherfucking Super Bowl, because the Super Bowl people were paying 5.6 million for a 20-second slot commercial or to run their trailer. Fast and the Furious 9. This motherfucker talking about his fight with Jake Paul bigger than the Super Bowl. Take your ass back to the UK, because you clearly don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. It's like the UK it's just a different place, bro. Eddie Hearn, he seems in over his head. Like, how is DAZN and Markowski from DAZN and Eddie Hearn, how do they compete with that type of pure promotion that Fox, not ESPN, but they're working with them, so whatever. But PBC and Fox just gave their fight. During fucking Super Bowl, they ran dope promos announcing Wilder Fury and showed this man knocking Fury out and all this stuff. How just from a realistic, see, I know we talk this new media, old media shit, but I'm not even, I want to know. I want y'all to explain this to me and enlighten me. I'm not even trying to be petty right now, but I will if I have to. I want y'all to tell me, how do you compete with that from DAZN? I ain't see one DAZN commercial. In fact, I don't even think they have a fight that they would even spend the money for to. Okay, here, that's a great question. Thank you. I got to pat myself on the back. Name one fight DAZN has actually announced and scheduled that you would pay that type of money to run the commercial during Super Bowl. They said that the average commercial 30-second spot or whatever costs $5+ million. Name one fight. You gonna do that for Mikey Garcia and Jesse Vargas? So it's genius, Al Heyman, doing the time buys and working with various networks, building up the rep and showing people his vision with PBC, and then fine tuning it down to the point where now Fox has a buy-in with PBC, and they have a deal, a long-term deal, 3-4 years, and then now Showtime has a deal 3-4 years with PBC. This is genius, because this year's Super Bowl was just ran by Fox, and they have a heavyweight fight with ESPN, and you have the biggest sport event, or one of them. I don't know what World Series, and I would say Super Bowl is probably bigger in America, but whatever. You have the largest or one of the largest sporting events with pure promotion. Now on ESPN, when they're talking about the Super Bowl and, people tune in to see Stephen A. Smith or whoever talk about the Super Bowl game, they'll probably run an ad on there too. Bro, how do you beat that conglomerate of dominant networks all intertwined with sporting? I ain't see one Mikey Garcia, Jesse Vargas commercial air. I ain't drove nowhere and seen no Mikey Garcia, Jesse Vargas, or Kell Brook DeLucas, billboard. I mean, how do you compete with that? I really want to know this. I don't see how you could how promotionally, because whatever it is, you haven't really. I feel DAZN has. All right, name someone. This is just my honest. This is my honest question. Name a company, Top Rank, PBC, or DAZN. Name a company that you or other that you feel, that major boxing company, boxing, that you think they've promoted by and large their events worse than DAZN. Name the so do you think Top Rank has promoted their big events or their fight cards, their schedule worse than DAZN? Has PBC promoted their events less than DAZN? Golden Boy's on DAZN. So that's what I'm saying. Name a company that has promoted their boxing card, their schedule basically, worse than DAZN. Golden Boy in Rematch Room in America. I mean, I'm just being honest. See, people get mad and, because they know old media getting stomped. But I need answers. Please tell me what company you think they've spent less energy promoting, by and large, as a company. Like Lomachenko, if he fights Teofimo, you don't think Top Rank is going to do nothing for that fight to promote it? I ain't heard nothing about Mikey Garcia, Jesse Vargas. Not a damn thing. And it's February now. It's this month. This man said DAZN should give me my money back. See, people don't want to answer the hard questions. They don't want to answer the hard questions. It is what it is. It is what it is, but people don't want to ask these questions. This man Wilder, who y'all said is not the face of boxing. So Canelo, let me get this straight. Canelo is the face of boxing. So just so we have this on record, Ego said Wilder was the face of boxing. This man just had a commercial, not one, but I seen two during the Super Bowl, during the pre-show and actual Super Bowl. Wilder versus Fury was advertised, a promo for the Fury Wilder fight. Wilder Fury, the actual champion. Y'all telling me that Canelo is still the face of boxing. I admit Canelo, after Mayweather left, was the face of boxing. But that's what I'm saying. People hate change. In new media, we create change. So there's going to be some resistance. But I'm telling you, the facts don't add up with Canelo. You see more and more people becoming disinterested with his opponent selection. His events are getting smaller. You can get mad, but disprove what I'm saying. That's all I care about. If you're not willing to do that, then you don't really have a point to me. Tell me how Canelo is bigger now than when he was on HBO or when he was fighting Mayweather. Please let me know. I'm open for the suggestions. Let me know. Smash the like button. His numbers don't come out all of a sudden anymore, but they were when he was with HBO. Now his numbers don't come out. He had to wait for UFC 244. People are, not sounding too hyped about the potential pool of candidates that he's supposed to be choosing from. Please explain this to me. I would love to hear it. See, everyone wants to get mad and say Ego's wrong. Prove me wrong. That's what I'm waiting for. When I'm wrong, I admit I'm wrong. I thought the Niners really were going to beat the Chiefs. We didn't beat the Chiefs. Easy to see I'm wrong there. So, Real Brother 32. Oh, shit. Hold on. Bro, they mad as a mother. Listen, he said, wow, how many hours you just dissed DAZN and white fighters? You must have done 200 hours of hating, and DAZN's still growing. Nothing you say will change that, idiot. YouTuber hating on $1 billion business. When they hate, donate. Bro, yeah, I'm a YouTuber. Bro, listen, I'm going to tell you like this, straight up. I'm a YouTuber hating on $1 billion business. That's your opinion. That's fine. But guess what? I make more money than you. So how you hating on me? If that's the standard, and I make more money than you, and I do what I want, and I wake up when I want, and you work for somebody else. Come on, bro. Because if you was a boss, you wouldn't even be worried about what the fuck I was doing. So, using that theory or that logic, then why are you even worried about me? If I can't have an opinion because DAZN has $1 billion and I don't, how you got an opinion on me when I know I make more money than you? Okay. You see? Calling the kettle black. When they hate, donate. Boss Red 357. Bro, they can say whatever they want. Bro, have you guys seen the trend with old media? They want to direct the things at me. That's cool. I got tough skin. I'm built for this. I pull up at the fights. right? They are not answering nothing what I'm saying. My question was, you mad that I'm saying this, but how does DAZN compete with solid promotion from a rival company as great as airing ads during the Super Bowl? That's the question. You don't have to talk. Don't talk to me. Answer the question. They want to have a conversation with me. They want to, berate me and talk about me. You don't have to. I don't have nothing to do with it. I'm asking you a question. He said, but he's here listening. Bro, these dudes is weak. It's new media destroying them. They just don't like it. So I'm still waiting. Somebody gonna answer the question or what? DAZN's $1 billion business. You're a YouTuber. That's what's up. Answer the question though. I'm a YouTuber. That's right. I'm good. See, and the other thing is this: you don't hear me complaining. I'm about to pay off my car in a couple months. I'm about to get a second whip. I'm good. You don't hear me complaining. I'm not complaining about YouTube. I'm not complaining about being a YouTuber. I'm not complaining about waking up when I want, working for myself. So, like, I don't see how you have a complaint. Life is good. I don't need a lot to operate. Family, friends, some me time, a little bit of money to pay my bills. I'm good. You don't hear me complaining. They complaining. So back to the subject at hand. How does DAZN take over America? Like Eddie Hearn was saying, bro, I'm not finna let up. I'm not finna just forget all these points. Listen, if Eddie Hearn came different when he introduced DAZN, then there wouldn't be these questions about DAZN. Am I right or am I wrong? If Eddie Hearn says, yo, I'm coming out with this program, DAZN, I want y'all to check it out. It's the live, the vibes. Check it out. We trying to do something different about it. Nobody would be mad. This man said Showtime going out of business in a year. This man complained and nitpicked everything PBC was doing. This man continues to talk about Terrence Crawford's attendance numbers with Mean Machine. Oh, we doubled that. He keeps talking about Wilder's attendance numbers. He keeps asking people in the streets who Wilder is and playing these games. And you want me to all of a sudden show mercy and not ask the realistic questions. Sorry, bud, not gonna work. Eddie Hearn and DAZN have created this predicament that they are in. Don't look for me for mercy, because DAZN and Eddie Hearn could have been minding their own business, working on their product, trying to give what they were promising, and that would have been the end of it. Listen, I live in America, right? I was born in New Mexico, so I was born in America, right? At the end of the day, I respect people who hustle. I got out of full-time work to do YouTube. I am the American dream, so I ain't mad at somebody trying to start something and, make it pop. That's not the issue. But when I came on YouTube, I didn't talk about nobody. I didn't say, man, Ellie setback, woom, woom, woom. Man, this person is woom, woom, woom. You guys watch this, woom, woom, woom. I didn't care. I didn't care what nobody was doing. I stayed in my lane. I didn't put a bunch of names and titles and stuff. And now, for that reason, I got good relationships with these guys. When I see them on fight, it's always good. It's always cordial. We might not hang out with each other. Some of them I do maybe hang out with, But I didn't come in boastful and cocky. I just came in with a vision, and I stuck to it. Nobody has a problem with that. That's not what Eddie Hearn did. He came in pompous, arrogant, cocky, with a handful of promises. This is different. This is different. So don't ask for mercy. There ain't gonna be no mercy. I need to know when Showtime's going out of business, out of the boxing business. This is what he said. I didn't say it. He said it. Don't get mad at me. And as far as that $1 billion business stuff, peep it. You got $1 billion business. Why don't you run an ad on Super Bowl? You got $1 billion. What the hell, D? I don't get it. But shout out to the money. Yeah, I was born in New Mexico. He said, where's Tracy Morgan? Bye, pay-per-view. Listen, I don't care. Listen, I know a lot of people that say they have money, but if you have money, you do things that money can Okay, Boomer, block him. Yeah, Boomer, that's what's up. My dad's a 49ers fan and my older brother, so I grew up in a Niner household. It was bound to happen. And I'm from the Bay. Silly question. Next question. When they hate, donate. And still, didn't I just say that? So, I'm still waiting for somebody to answer the question. I'm from the old school. Don't start none, won't be none. Eddie Hearn said he was doing American Takeover. When will that happen? Give me a date. We're in a fresh new year, a fresh new month, February. When the American Takeover? When you gonna start promoting boxers? Not just YouTube and Antonio Brown. The Zone is posting more about Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Innocent Gibb, and Antonio Brown, AB, all these people, than they are actual boxing. So that's where we at with it. When they hate, donate. Deron Herron, respect. Eagles Army. KC boy, drunk as oh man, we got another Chiefs fan. Now y'all got us. Y'all did y'all thing. When they hate, donate. Shout out to my man Deron. He said he getting drunk on this occasion. Y'all earned it. So that's it. I keep asking the same thing, but nobody seems to want to answer. It's funny how that works. How is the Zone gonna take over America, as Eddie Hearn suggested? How do you compete with? And listen, it's funny when there's a white man with blue eyes who gets in front of the mic, just like I'm in front of the mic, and the white man with blue eyes, Eddie Hearn, this is all fact. This is not racism. He's white with blue eyes. Eddie Hearn can talk about what Wilder's doing, how many tickets he's allegedly sold, talk about how much money Charlo's making, all of which is not really his business or information he has. And these same man fans don't care that he's bringing this up. But then when I'm posing questions based on what I've seen in the game, all of a sudden, as a person of color, this becomes a problem. This becomes a problem for me to question the moves or the intent or the intention or the vision when I don't understand it. Yet the man with white skin and blue eyes can get in everybody else's business, talk about Andy Ruiz, what he's doing, talk about how much money Charlo and Errol Spence and Tank have made, even though that's not one of his fighters. He can talk about Wilder. He could say Wilder clout chased and coattailed Anthony Joshua, right? And then actually clout chase Wilder. But I can't ask questions about things that are involved with my sport. Let me know how that works. That's unacceptable. So I'm going to continue doing what I do, and I'm still waiting for an answer. So if you could be so kind as to explain this to me. And we talked about this before the Super Bowl came on. Out of all these fights, I gave y'all 24 proposed, purported, reported, somewhat talked about, negotiated, anything in that realm of fights from Eddie Hearn and DAZN that have not yet manifested. Things like Dillian White AJ 2, Dillian White versus Luis Ortiz, Dillian White versus Andy Ruiz, AJ versus Wilder, AJ versus Tyson Fury, Mir Khan versus Kell Brook, Billy Joe Saunders versus Caleb Smith, Billy Joe Saunders versus Andrade versus Charlo, Anthony Joshua versus Luis Ortiz. I gave you several fights. Jaime Munguia, Jesse Vargas, right? A ton of fighters that were supposed to sign, like Errol Spence and Broner and Wilder. I gave you all these fights. My question is simply put, you've been out long enough. When can we see these fights? I don't want to keep talking about Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, and I see no signs pointing us in the direction that, hey, they're working on this fight for this year, other than talking in Twitter finger beef. What does that really do? We talk about Dillian White and Andy Ruiz around the clock, and we're supposed to build this fight, all for Andy Ruiz to post on his verified social media said, you was catting, you don't want no smoke, I got a big announcement soon. I went with another option. No matter who's right or wrong, I don't really care. The bottom line is, as I suggested, I did not think Dillian White's next fight would be Andy Ruiz. They have sat and entertained Andy Ruiz and mentioned his name with Dillian White like this was the fight that was going to happen, more so than the fight that, in my opinion, looked more realistic, like Dillian White and Alexander Povetkin. How many times does someone have to lend you a promise without fulfilling that? Someone said, "Oh man, hey, if you buy this for me, I'll pay you back. Hey, if you buy this for me, I'll pay you back." At what point do you put your foot down and say, "Hey man, I loaned you a lot of money and you ain't paid me back yet"? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm asking. I don't want to talk. And right now, Eddie Hearn's American track record is in shambles. It is in shambles. They rather talk in like, you even got DAZN personnel and reporters sending out tweets and writing article. Oh, a huge offer was made to Charlo. I don't. Why should the fans partake? I told you everything goes to new media. Why do the fans need to partake in failed business ventures? What does that do for us? Somebody explain it. Meaning the back end business of, like, okay, I'll use football. Let's say there was a number 1 draft pick and then the 49ers were like, "Oh, we didn't get this guy." I don't care about it then. Tell me who the Niners are getting. Like, if we can't get this person in the draft, then why am I going to talk about what if they were on the team, or it would be great to have a running back like Deebo Samuel? You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that doesn't really get us anywhere. It's just wasted air, wasted dead space and breath. Eddie Hearn is like a handful of empty promises with, I'm going to tell you about Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, Delphine Pursunes and Katie Taylor rematch, Triple G, Canelo, but I'm not delivering that. That's the whole issue. It's like we're beyond new media. We're beyond wanting to talk about it. If you can make Dillian White, Andy Ruiz, so be it. Make the fight and announce it. But instead, this becomes almost a justification or a plea. It's like a plea with fans to let you know and try to explain why it's not happening. But I'm over it. That's just how I feel. At this point, I don't really care why it didn't happen. Move on. What can you make happen? That's what life is about. That's the American way. That's what I truly believe. Do you guys care about all the, like, okay, let's say you have a wife or whatever, right? Bro, it says we have 0 people watching. YouTube tripping. Can you guys hear me? Because it says 0 people are watching right now. YouTube be tripping. You guys can hear me. Just type something if you can hear me and smash the like button. I don't know what it says for y'all, but it says I have 0 people watching, so I'm trying to make sure I'm not talking to an empty room. Hello, where? Everybody in the chat that has ears, type anything. And if it's disrespectful, you're getting bought. I'm going to eat some of this sausage. Salami. Get the likes up. So, in America, it's about what you can achieve and accomplish. Let's say you're married. You're your wife. Like, let's say you're pretty handy. You build stuff. Your washing machine is broken. You have a door that the knob's loose, needs to be fixed. The bathroom needs to be repaired. Things need to be, like a ceiling fan needs to be mounted. Right, just various things that a household would have. And you have a wife. If you tell your wife all the things that you meant to do, oh, I was going to replace the ceiling fan and install the new one. I was going to, put up some crown molding. I was going to repair the sink. I was going to repair the broken laundry room door or, washing machine or dryer, right? But you didn't actually do it. Do you have a satisfied wife? Would your wife be satisfied merely telling her what you meant to do and what you intended to do, but you never actually did and fulfilled? Would she be happy, or would she be happy if you, I don't know, completed these things on your to-do list? She wouldn't be happy. Like my man Forrest Lynn said, she wouldn't be happy. It's like me writing a to-do list. Anybody can write a to-do list. Can you execute? He said you're going to get divorce papers. Facts. That's what I'm saying. Nobody cares about, I meant to put the ceiling fan and I was going to get an expensive ceiling fan with variable speed, a high, medium, and low. And, bro, did you do it? Did you, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, did you walk the dog? Not, I wanted to walk the dog, but then I fell asleep and I tried to walk the dog. I had a dream about what. This is what's becoming of Eddie Hearn in Rematch Room. We keep hearing about these mythical fights that they want to make happen. You can't, in life, you can't really blame someone else for your lack of success. You got to figure it out. If my bills don't get paid, then I'm in trouble. I'm going to be past due. Could affect my credit. A real brother 32 don't owe me nothing to figure out my finances. I got to figure that shit out. So what is a promoter's job to do? I don't know. Promote boxing. And to me, it's poor promotion to just play the blame game and just mention all the fights like Luis Ortiz that you meant to make, or keep talking about Andy Ruiz. Joshua's likely to fight Pulev, but you keep talking about Wilder. What's the basis? Somebody explain it to me. Why are we talking? If the world knows, and Sky Sports included, they're writing articles that the front runner is Kubrat Pulev, why am I seeing less about Kubrat Pulev and AJ, and I'm seeing more about Wilder and AJ? Explain how that makes sense if it's not clout chasing. This is all I need to know. How does that make sense? Your actual opponent that you're probably in negotiation with, we ain't going to build that. We ain't going to talk about that. But we will use the bigger name that's locked in a tough fight with Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. It's the same play, bro. Over and over and over again. And it's so readable because it's so one-dimensional. That's how I keep predicting what's going to happen before it happens. How many times have I said Charlo ain't going to be next? Andrade ain't going to be next. Definitely Charlo ain't going to be next. Canelo has the power to fight anyone in boxing with a good deal. We're not even hearing about Canelo, Charlo, or Andrade deep negotiations about to sign or anything. So the man fans, they can try. They can say, oh, you're just hating on Canelo and Canelo will get to your boy and all that. But my question is when? When is he going to get to him? When is he going to fight Charlo? When is he going to fight Andrade? Because the man fans have been telling me Canelo is going to get to these guys. When does that happen? When does he get to them? That's what I'm saying. It's about what you can execute. There's a difference between, I keep saying it, you have effort and you have execution. That's not one and the same. You can have a lot of effort but not execute. Like, you can work for 8 hours straight but do the wrong things and not be focused on the right things. So you don't receive what you want out of life. So it's not that you weren't trying or you weren't working, but you were working on the wrong things for 8 hours straight. Instead of the things that would, get you out of debt or generate the most money for you. Smash the like button. It's just becoming one, like, somebody explained to me, if Logan Paul's going to fight Antonio Brown, just announce the fight. How many times do they have to build it up and get people's hopes up with no announcement? See, the difference is, like, let's say PBC in Top Rank. At best, there's information coming from reporters who have a source, and then they'll release a tweet saying, "Oh, Tank Davis is gonna fight, Leo Santa Cruz." But the promoter ain't doing it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I have not heard one thing from PBC that actually said. Just listen to what I'm saying to you people and apply it and see if it's sticks and makes sense. I have not heard one PBC representative mention who or what, when, why, or whatever Tank Davis is going to fight. Not one of them. I ain't heard Leonard Ellerbe, Tim Smith, Al Heyman. I haven't heard any of them. We have heard reporters who got information maybe from someone who have said, hey, I heard that Tank is going to fight Leo Santa Cruz maybe at the Staples Center. But nobody is actually getting in front of a camera, putting face to name, we're naming, oh, that's Leonard Ellerbe. Oh, that's Tim Smith. Oh, that's Al Heyman. Nobody is actually doing that. I'm presuming for a reason until a deal is actually reached, finalized, and put out. So if a reporter says it and it's wrong, then, sometimes that happens. Right? However, that's not the case with Rematch Room, Eddie Hearn, or DAZN. Eddie Hearn particularly is getting on camera himself. He is getting on camera talking about all the failed negotiations or fights he hopes to make. That's completely different. That's not, to me, that's kind of the more unprofessional way. Just make whatever you can make. Try to make meaningful fights. But to me, that shows a failure for DAZN, and that they're way out of their element in America, because it's just talk. He just keeps talking and talking about what he wants to make. So to me, that's a sign of failure and insecurity. So now you're trying to play the game of the blame game, and now you have to have fans attack Charlo or Al Heyman to justify why you can't get the fight over the line. That's what it becomes for me, aka clout chasing. You just mention it. You hope that, so it's, to be honest, you can't make these fights. You're not powerful enough, or you can't entice the people enough, whatever. You can't get these fights done. So now you have to justify why you fail. It's like, let's say I entered a marathon and I wasn't in the best shape. I can't make it to the marathon. And I'm like, at the end of the marathon, and I'm like, man, I have real bad asthma. Yeah, you knew you had asthma when you entered the race. You didn't train hard enough to complete a 24-mile Beta Breakers race. That's the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do the things. You didn't condition your body. You're not in shape to do this. That's what it is to me with Eddie Hearn. He wants to justify it and blame Heyman. How you gonna blame Heyman or PBC because you can't get fights, or because you don't have the stable of built-in brand names that you can mix? And that's not even entirely true, because he has great fights in his facility at the DAZN warehouse of names, but none of those fights are happening. You see what I'm saying? From 160 to 168, Eddie Hearns has top names with DAZN at 160 and 168. Jacobs, Caleb Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, Canelo. I'm just talking about DAZN. Andrade. The only fight you made is Canelo Jacobs. And really, you got chose on by Canelo. So, again, this is an excuse. Who cares about the Charlo fight? Okay, you can't get that. Cool. Then what else? It's a scapegoat. That's what. How can't you guys see this? You can't get the Charlo fight. Move on. What can you make that makes fans happy? Wilder had to do it when Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn was playing games. Wilder had to resort to a plan B that would build his career. He did that. He fought Luis Ortiz and then Tyson Fury. AJ's plan, fuck it. We'll be a star this way. Why can't Eddie Hearn do that? Why can't he say, okay, Charlo's playing, they don't want Charlo to fight, or whatever he thinks is the reason, or whatever he's trying to get people convinced to believe, and then make Andrade a star another way? So oh, I can't get Charlo, so Andrade will never be a star. That's not promoting. How is that promoting? Please let me know that. Make him a star another way. Charlo is one person. It's kind of similar. Even Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence. I mean, okay, you can't fight Errol Spence. He just came out of accident. Your promoter still got to make you pop. That's just what it is. You'd be a sad sap going through life blaming everyone for why you couldn't do something. Like for me, I don't blame who have I blamed for my failures? I've had the door closed in my face, closed doors or opportunities or denials or something, but I still find a way. No matter what life throws at me, I still find a way. I always find a way to make my shit work. Like, I've applied for credentials in the past and got denied. I had certain opportunities that didn't pan out or, whatever. But I'm still here. Like, I didn't just, they won't give me credentials, so I guess I'll stop growing on YouTube. It just don't happen. You have to hustle. You got to find. Not everything's gonna be a smooth sailing in life. How do you make Andrade a star, regardless of Charlo? Until you could get the power or leverage or whatever, or the money or whatever to make it happen. You just lean. It's like the old media knows they getting dusted, so they mad because PBC has all this talent, and they want them to throw a lifeline out to these other promoters. But these same promoters, a lot of them talked ish about Al Heyman, and then now they want the life raft when Al Heyman's in the boat. So you try to sink the boat, you try to put holes in the boat, and then they patch those holes and they still sailing, and then now your boat might be sinking in certain markets, and now you want them to give you life preservers, rafts and stuff so you could stay afloat. I mean, what part of the world is that done? I don't understand it. So now the whole deal with Eddie Hearns is becoming more, hey, check my phone. I sent the email, but you didn't get the fight done. Who cares about the email? Well, I mean, that could be a Photoshop. It could be real. I don't care. You're not getting the fight done. That's what it boils down to. I could tell AT&T a million reasons why I can't pay them. They're going to want their money. What's a real good question? Y'all keep saying that's a good question. What did I say? So 2 people said that's a real good question. I must have had a good question. See, I'm just freestyling. This is all freestyle. I forgot what I said. What's a good question? Because there's a little bit of lag too, bro. I'm just... Oh, Kevin asked a question. Oh, I thought it was me. Y'all played me. Who's Kevin? Where's Kevin? Who's Kevin? Where's Kevin? Oh, Kane. They ain't a motherfucking Kevin. They're fucking Home Alone and shit. Kane. Shout out to my dude. Kane be on it. He's talking shit, though, because the Niners lost, but he be on it. Shout out to Kane. He said, where's Eddie Hearns' email to Canelo about fighting Andre? I said that on my earlier stream. That's what I'm saying. Unblock Blue Label. Why you block him? Why y'all block Blue Label? He didn't, man. KC won. It is what it is. Mahomes is a beast. I like him. I like the kid. But I mean, I'm still Niner gang. He don't gotta get blocked for that. Come on. I asked that in the earlier stream today. If Eddie Hearn, he's trying to play the blame game so people get mad and all the people in the UK blame Heyman and blame Charlotte. That shit, we offer that. We offer that. That's what he's trying to do. So he's like, oh, look, here's the email. Like, why? Bro, a real one, a real alpha male, you don't gotta do shit. Like people be on my chat all the time. Oh, ego, you're homosexual. Okay. What am I gonna explain? I don't have to explain my sexuality to somebody. You whatever. Okay. You see what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? Like people say stuff and random stuff. Eddie Hearn feel the need to show you and try to prove, and it don't really even prove nothing. You feel what I'm saying? Like it don't prove because you showed an email. That could be anything. But okay, so is the email you getting no response? What does that mean? That don't mean anything. The bottom line is what the bottom line is. You couldn't make the fight. But again, what part of the game is it where the B side offers the money in the setup and the scenario and gets their preferred network? I haven't seen this happen. Eddie Hearn thinks that double talk ish works on us. Exactly. It's America, baby. This is different. I have never seen the B side offer the money and get their preferred network to the A side. Like, again, I said this. So, Donald Cowboy Cerrone, you think he reached out to Conor McGregor, and said, hey, I'm willing to offer you $12 million, main event, this date, this venue. That's not how it works. The B side just sit there and take the deal if it's reasonable for them. There's no way, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. There's no way Tevin Farmer is the A side over Gervonta Davis. There's no way. So how is Eddie Hearn sending offer anything to Tank? That's why you see Leonard Ellerbe do these interviews. He say it flat out. Eddie Hearn can't tell us shit. But it's the truth. Tank is the star. Tank has the numbers. Tank is on main events. Tevin Farmer fought on a YouTube undercard. You know what I'm saying? That I'm not dissing. That's where Eddie Hearn placed him. Eddie Hearn put him underneath Jake Paul and Anderson Gibb. Here's what they think about you. There's nobody. How you gonna be the A side over Tank and you're not even the main event? And they're putting you beneath undercards, which in my opinion is disrespectful. But they still did it. This is rematch room. This is what they did, not ego. So once again, you guys have to make it make sense. When does the B side tell the A side what to do and propose anything? It doesn't really happen. Robert Guerrero don't tell Mayweather what the fuck to do. Hey, I want to fight you on HBO. I got some buddies over there. We got money. That's not how that works. And everybody minus AJ at a point, but now it's already washed because AJ lost. Everybody that Eddie Hearns has is the B side in those situations. Devin Haney is the B side to Lomachenko. Lomachenko has multiple belts. He has multiple belts, so how could he? And this is not, I'm not knocking the fighters. Devin Haney's a beast, bro. He's a beast, but he's never been a champion by beating another champion or whatever. And Lomachenko has, and he's been around at the top for a longer time. So how could he be the A side over that when he's conquered multiple divisions, etc.? It just don't make sense. Tevin Farmer, great fighter, but he's not the A side over Tank. The way both fighters been moved, there's no way Andrade is the A side over Charlo. The Charlo's brand has been branded strongly for the last couple of years. Lions only. You know, there's more people probably know the Lions only moniker than the A-team moniker. This is just the reality of it. It's not a diss. It's not talking about skill set, not talking about who would win in the fight. It's just A side, the politics, the landscape, and the reality of who holds the cards. So once again, how does Eddie Hearn and DAZN keep thinking they dictate anything? They don't have a Canelo. The only Canelo they had was AJ, and he's no longer a Canelo because he lost all of his like clout tokens. It's just not making sense. I don't have no dominant person that's just like relevant in America. That would be the A side, or the noted A side over everybody. It's just not the reality. There is absolutely no way Tevin Farmer is the A side over Tank. And now he just lost, so he has to try to get his belts back. So I don't think people are even talking about a Tank fight. Tank on Twitter said, "Don't ever disrespect me again," after that performance. I'm just saying nothing but facts. So, at least shout out to my man D Nice. Smash the like button. It just leads me to my conclusion of what leverage does Eddie Hearn have in America that he thinks he has? What leverage? I don't get it. I don't see who you have that you can A-side or be offering it. Like Dillian White's not bigger than Deontay Wilder. So how's Dillian White gonna say, "Oh, Wilder, fight me at the O2 Arena"? Who are you? Like that doesn't even make sense. Wilder. So let me get this straight. In old media's mind, Wilder's the green belt champion, the WBC champion. Has been that way. He's more known worldwide, including the UK. He's big. He's definitely bigger in America. He's fought in America. He's been featured on CBS and ESPN, and he's at the Super Bowl. But Dillian White gets to fight at his preferred location, the O2 Arena, on his preferred network of DAZN with no belt, never being a champion. And it doesn't make sense. There is no way that makes sense. You don't hold the cards in any regard. You're not a champion, never been a champion. You're not more popular. You don't have more power, both physically or more power, bargaining power. You're not more talked about. You're not on several title defenses. You're not taller. There's not more money over there than what Wilder can make in fights like Tyson Fury. Wilder's the face of boxing. Wilder's at the Super Bowl. Wilder has more visibility. Wilder's at the Final Four game. Wilder looked better in his last couple fights, than Dillian White versus Mariusz Weck, a lesser comp. I mean, there's nothing. Resume, there's nothing. Even when he fought Anthony Joshua wasn't even a champion at that point. They were both young in their careers. So there's literally no innate advantage or leverage that Dillian White holds over White or over Wilder that would give them the power of attorney in the negotiations. There is literally nothing. There is nothing. I can't think of one thing that would give him the leverage to make him the prominent guy. Like, I get it. Cotto versus Sergio Martinez. Martinez was a champion, but Cotto, career-wise, was more popular. So I can understand why Cotto was the A side, even despite Sergio Martinez having the belt. There's nothing that Dillian White has that precedes and makes him the grandiose in negotiation. There's nothing. He don't have more power. He can't say he put on way more entertaining fight. He's not a champion. Never been. There's nothing. There's literally nothing. He's not ranked higher. How you ranked higher than a champion? You know what I'm saying? Wilder set more history. Double-digit defense. There's literally nothing. But Eddie Hearn is the one. Oh, we want to offer Wilder O2. How are you offering him anything? It don't make sense. The bottom line is Eddie Hearn, he's a double agent. He works for Sky Sports and works for DAZN. They have two different priorities and prerogatives. One's based out of the UK and killing the UK box office and putting on the fights. DAZN ain't seeing none of that money. So they're desperate to lure one of these guys. But you're not in the position of power. Bro, that's like Pablo Escobar in his prime. And I'm a street level dealer, and I'm trying to tell Pablo Escobar what to do. I gotta meet, we gotta meet for a deal, and he's the kingpin, and I'm a low level dealer, and you gotta go to Pablo Escobar warehouse to meet. You gotta bring him the money. He ain't gonna come to you. You get what I'm saying? That's Pablo Escobar. The power he has, what he's worked for, to the point, he's the kingpin. So I don't understand this pompous British attitude from Eddie Hearn and DAZN, where somehow they're the shot callers, but they didn't put the work in, and they don't have bigger brands or really any noted advantage. It's just weird. So as a result, we're getting more talk about fights that don't happen. Like, how many fights is, just let me know so I can prepare for this year. How many fights is Eddie Hearn going to mention and DAZN that don't happen before they happen, and then we just supposed to keep talking about, we just have to keep talking about what's not happening versus what you're giving us. You are a paid app, and your schedule is whatever your schedule is. They want you to continue talking about, they want to continue talking about what's not happening. I care more about reality than fallacy. Tell me what you can make. Mikey Garcia, Jesse Vargas, where's the promotion for that? That's an actual reality. You got that over the line. Talk about that. Promote that. I don't want to promote a bunch of Andy Ruiz and Dillian White and then they don't fight. What does that do for me? I get a bunch of fake views. Listen, that's not evergreen content because I get a bunch of fake views up front because people are interested in it and then it grows no legs. That's not evergreen content. That's content that's good for a week or two while it's hot and people are talking about it, and then people forget about it because it never happens. Meanwhile, you could have talked about Wilder Fury since last year, and it leads to something. They're fighting February 22nd. Nobody wants to hear about the nice car you didn't buy. Facts. That's shout out to Kane, man. That's what I'm talking about. It's like it don't make sense to keep belaboring the point with a bunch of stuff not happening. Tell me what is happening. What's cracking? What's the zone? Like what fights you gonna put on? I don't really care. That's what I'm saying. You see me so disassociated with Logan Paul, Antonio Brown. I'm not even really psyched about that fight anyway. But I don't care about all these like little face offs and shit if it don't mean nothing. I don't care about that fight in general, but I'm just saying. Why make that's what the combat sports wants you to do, a bunch of clown shit on the social media and build. I ain't doing that. You build up the fight. You make the fight. You promoters work together, get these things done, and then I'll promote the hell out of any good fight, period. But why I got to talk about the stuff and you ain't even done nothing? That's my whole point. So it's just becoming a recurring theme with DAZN that let's just talk about what we're not accomplishing. You know, people want to argue. You know, Michael Benson will quote Eddie Hearns and talk about, oh, Eddie Hearns says Charlo was offered, and they want people to argue. That's that old media shit. They want people to argue about it. I ain't arguing about that. Either you're going to get Charlo for Andrade or you can't do it. End of story. If you can't do it, make Charlo star another way until, that presents itself. But that's not what we're seeing. Yo, y'all got to smash the like button. We working. And the other thing is, to me, that's bad, is you spending so much time talking about fake fights that ain't happening. You're not even promoting Kell Brook DeLuca. You're not promoting, or at least good, promoting Jesse Vargas, Mikey Garcia. What about that part? He wants everyone. I'm telling you, Eddie Hearn wants everybody to just point the finger. Oh, it's that pesky Charlo and Al Heyman, but we're over that. Golden Boy's kind of doing it too. They talking about, oh, Charlo, we sent him a pretty good deal, and Charlo, the train left. Okay, whatever. So nobody knew about this pretty good deal, but you just randomly talk about it at Ryan Garcia's fight. You talk about Charlo didn't want to fight Canelo, even though that's who he's been called out. Man, come on. It's bad, man. It's bad. Produce something. That's it. Do you care if an artist was about to get a bunch of features and they all fail, or if they had a dope beat and they couldn't clear the sample, so it can't make it to the out. You don't care about that. And what Eddie Hearn is trying to do, part of this, what Eddie Hearn is trying to do with this digital space is this: put all the business out there and let the fans decipher it and decide. That's not where boxing. That's not boxing business. Because ultimately, I don't care what Canelo's bank account looks like. I don't care how much, Chavez gets. Ultimately, I don't care. They're not sharing it with me. Why I care about that? Was Bracken Blood? Shout out to Diego. What's up? I really don't care about those things. But that's what they're trying to make it. They're trying to give you a peek under the hood, under the window, to see all the little business stuff. But I don't really care about the business aspect of it when it's failed business. When it's like, you didn't get this fight over the line. That's the reality. Why do I care about a bunch of fights you couldn't make? That's like me looking at a menu and I'm like, man, ooh, the filet mignon and surf and turf looks good. Oh, sorry, we ran out. Then I'm not going to just keep talking about surf and turf. They don't have it. So why am I just going to keep reading the description of a menu item that's not available? You know what I'm saying? That's not me. That's not what makes sense to me. I don't really care about Dillian White, Andy Ruiz, unless that's his next fight. And it don't look like it is. So I'm not doing a bunch of pointless videos. It's just wasting my time. Bro, I get paid for this. My time means something. My life, my time. Kobe Bryant, Gianna situation, bro, that puts stuff in perspective. Life is short. I ain't got time to waste. When I talk, it needs to equate to something. I'm not finna damage my vocal cords and, have my voice all hoarse and sore promoting some shit that you can't make. And I just wasted all this energy and argue with people and debated the fight and gave fight. That's just not me. I'm at the elite level of this shit. Everybody else, they can consume. They can get all the Andy Ruiz, Dillian White views. I'm not really worried about that. And like I said, I do what I want. If my other work is accomplished, maybe I'll make a video about it. But there's no reason I can pacify and put off other real work, stuff that's actually happening, to talk about this fantasy island shit. It's all good, Diego. He said he won money. Yeah, the Chiefs, they came back, bro. They comeback kids. Definitely the comeback kids. We just talking about like the Wilder Fury was promoted. How does DAZN compete with this? What is DAZN? Actually, we haven't really heard anybody's schedule. I can't wait to hear Top Rank schedule, PBC schedule. Ego, be safe. Coronavirus is in your area. Shit, it ain't in my area. Where is it at? Shout out to Michael Woodard. Yeah, y'all gotta stay away from me with that shit. I don't even drink Coronas. What the fuck? I don't even drink beer. Fuck that. Y'all gotta holler back with that shit. Oh, it's in Arizona. Damn. The Bay got 2 cases. And hell no. I ain't heard of that. Bro. They said the face masks don't even work. Damn, y'all tripping. But anyway, man, I like I said, I want to restore boxing back to its like former glory. And to me, it's not the blame game, and we just need to get cracking fights. That's it. Cracking fights. I don't really care about all the that's what I'm saying. Eddie Hearn, he's brought a lot of almost nonsense into the game and the zone. Like just this whole ideology that the fans need to be worried more about the back end business, especially if it's failed business, rather than what's happening. So to me, that's like a distraction from, hey, our schedule's light. We don't really have that many big fights. So let's just explain why our schedule looks like this. That's how I take it. So, hey, Andre's fighting Keeler, and I know you guys are mad, so let me just tell you why. That's because Charlo. And then you're trying to blame that. That's weak. That's a weak excuse. You a grown man. Andre's a grown man. Make it happen. Make something happen. And like, here's the thing: is this? What about Andre versus like these other promoters got to understand with PBC, they got enough people where they can make whatever they want and make good fights. Hamza says, yeah, Eddie got clueless fans talking about purses, attendance, etc. That's what I'm saying. They trying to water up the game, talking about a bunch of nonsense. I care about the fights. But peep this. PBC has enough fighters where they can make dope in-house fights, and that can last for some years, realistically speaking. These other promoters are like seeing the brands growing and stuff, and they're getting jealous of it, so they trying to like, get options on that. But my thing is this. If Eddie, Eddie Hearn, y'all say the promoter of the year and all this stuff, watch this. How come Andre, I get it, you want Andre to fight Charlo, but maybe they have bigger plans for Charlo. I don't know. You got to talk to PBC about that. But here's the thing. There are still fights with other guys that are probably more expendable and easier to get than the one guy you say you want. How come you're not making those fights? You see what I'm saying? Y'all want an example? I'll give y'all an example. Whatever the fans want, I can give you. Do you want an example of what I'm talking about? Let me pour some more wine. Y'all got to listen. Oh, I'm really tripping. I didn't even take the top off, and I'm trying to pour this shit. Damn, am I buzzing? What the fuck? Bro, I left the cap on, and I was trying to pour this shit. I'm like, why is this shit not pouring? Yeah, I'm tripping. Hold on. Listen. Bro, that was ignorant. Y'all see me? That shit was dumb. America's dumbest criminals. All right, look. If y'all want me to break this down, can I get a hell yeah in the comment section? Watch how I catch a body. Watch how I catch this body real quick. Shout out to Daryl. What's up, my man? All right, look. Like, okay, I'm not dumb. Charlo Andre is a good fight. So let's say that's your main prerogative. That's the fight you want to execute and make the most. Cool, whatever. You're not getting a response, or they have plans for Charlo, or the fight's not happening, right? For whatever reason. No blame game, whatever. You can't get Charlo. Guess what? There's still better fights for Andrade. Why not do any? You have some in-house. That's my biggest problem. Like, for example, let's say Charlo, they got all these plans from. Have you tried Sergey Deryevchenko? I respect the hell out of Sergey Deryevchenko. Every big name that he fought, he gave him some work. He gave him a tough fight. Danny Jacobs, and he beat Triple G's ass, in my opinion. Andrade versus Deryevchenko is for sure a respectable fight, and it'll probably bring out the best in both because, in my opinion, skill-wise, Deryevchenko ain't on Andrade's level, but intensity-wise and ruthless with power and like durable and heart-wise, I want to see how Andrade fares with that style because this is a durable guy who gives it his all, etc. So overall it's a good fight. So if you can't get the fight with Charlo, why not make something like that, which is inherently better than Andrade versus Keeler? You can't just, we can't get Charlo, so that's it. There's other good fights. Michael Woodard, what up? Why not make Deryevchenko versus Andrade? Do y'all don't think that's a good fight? I would much rather see that than Keeler. I think that's a way better fight. I think Derevyanchenko's really a champion. He beat Triple G. That's my point. Or you can look in house. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's to me it's cap, because you would rather have the fans argue why these fights aren't happening rather than make a good fight. Like, here's an example. They keep talking about Dillian White versus Andy Ruiz. Okay, Andy Ruiz, he's wants too much money. What about Andy Ruiz, or not Andy Ruiz? What about Dillian White versus Luis Ortiz? That's a great fight. Instead of just trying to get Heyman Ruiz, who's coming off a loss, they might want to build him back slowly because he looked horrible. You know what I'm saying? He looked bad in his last fight, Andy Ruiz. So they might just want to bring him back, like out there at their own pace. Why not Luis Ortiz then? Please let me know that. Why does it say PewDiePie is in here? Yeah, it's still Niner game. Why does it say PewDiePie is in this chat? This dude got like 100 million subscribers. No, I just went to his page. I guess that was the real PewDiePie. Bro, we moving up the YouTube ladder. It ain't, bro. I clicked on this shit. It said, I don't know. It said he had 19 million views. He said ego PewDiePie and his bro. I just went to the page because I was like, what the hell, bro? You can get to it. He has 221 uploads, and it looked like his shit. I just went to the account. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who it is. Maybe it's a fake one. I don't know. It don't matter. Anywho, that's my point, people. That's my point. My point is like, yo, why? Like, there's still good fight. Like, Andre, why he don't fight Saunders? How hard is it to make Saunders fight? That's an in-house fight. Stop talking. Who cares about Charlo? Why are you talking about Charlo so much? Please let me know. Bro, it's fake. It's cap. Is there's no way it's not cap. I think he clicked on it because it said Niners, because it's talking about the Super Bowl. I don't know. I don't know why he's here, bro. But shout out to him. I told you I run boxing. It's cap. Why don't you make Andre Derevyanchenko? Why don't you make, instead of talking about Dillian White, Andy Ruiz, what about Luis Ortiz? You're not even trying. You're not even trying. Who thinks Luis Ortiz versus Dillian White is a terrible fight? I need to hear this. Who thinks Dillian White, Luis Ortiz is a bad fight? Anybody? That's why I said it's cap. Is let's use these guys' names that have good names, good brands, and that's it. We'll use it from promo with no intention to look beyond that. You're not making the best fight, bro. Luis Ortiz, Dillian White is an awesome bro. I'm being real. I would rather see Dillian White versus Dominic Brazil. I'm not even saying that's the best fight, but I'd rather see it than Alexander Povetkin. I really would. You're not even trying to make no fights. Like, damn sure not trying to make Dillian White, Luis Ortiz, or Gerald Miller. They're not trying to make. Dillian White fought a top ranked fighter in Oscar Rivas. Fight Gerald Miller. These are all better fights than Povetkin. They're trying to take the path of least resistance and play the blame game. Oh, Andy Ruiz, he's not real Mexican. Or he's ducking me. He wants to eat chocolate. It's that's clout chasing to me. That's clout chase. You just mentioning their names, making headlines, but then you know this shit's not happening, and you become fixated on that. What can you get done? That's my whole thing. What can you get done, finished, over the line, and get cracking? Rather than us talking about Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Dillian White versus Andy Ruiz. And the UK is just allowing this to happen. I'm gonna eat this donut. They just allowing it. Like, they don't care what Eddie Hearn said. Like, we rocking with it. Good luck with that. Because America don't work like that. We care about accomplishments. Kobe Bryant is a legend because of his accomplishments, not because he made it to the playoffs and got kicked out. It's because of what he did when it counted. I feel you, Hamza. I don't think these guys in Great Britain understand America for real. Prince Savage, a fool. What if Apple products kept talking about deals that they tried to get but they couldn't? What if they said we were going to do a deal with Honda vehicles to put Apple consoles in there, but the deal never happened? Would you care about it? Or do you care about business mergers that actually happen? Apple don't talk about anything. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's like overcompensating. It's hot news to talk about Ruiz more than Povetkin. So you're clout chasing. And the thing I don't like about it is you're doing all this, but then you're not talking about the actual fight you're fighting. So we talked about Dillian White versus Andy Ruiz, all for him to fight Povetkin. We talked about AJ versus Wilder for AJ to fight Pulev. That's fake. It's clout chasing. Eddie Hearn said, "We want to fight the winner of Wilder Fury, Part 2. You're not in this conversation. They got 2 fights lined up. Hamza said, I almost had a threesome with 2 dimes I met at the club last Saturday. See, that's what I'm saying. He said that's how Eddie sounded. That's what I'm saying. People don't care about that no more. Just like someone drunk driving, I almost didn't get a DUI. You got one, motherfucker. Shouldn't have been doing that. It's like the bad guys from Scooby-Doo. They get caught at the end, take the mask off. And I would have got away with it if it weren't for you mangy kids. Well, you didn't get away with it, motherfucker. Go to jail. What'd y'all think of the halftime show? J-Lo Shakir halftime show. Thoughts? Give it a letter grade. Okay. A B. They both fine though. I give them that. J Lo, that's a crush from back in the day. She fine. A minus. Y'all stupid. Yeah, Shakira, get it. She looked skinnier though. I thought she was a little bit thicker. She used to be thick right there. Anyway, that's what it is. Man, the zone got to figure this out. And you know it's actually embarrassing? I don't know if they look at it like this because they just maybe trying to make money. Let's say Logan Paul fights Antonio Brown. That's embarrassing if he keep doing better numbers than Canelo. That's not embarrassing to y'all. If Canelo's supposed to be, let old media tell it, Canelo's still the face of boxing. What if Logan Paul does better numbers? He's the face of boxing, but he's gonna get more promotion for the Antonio Brown fight. I don't know what's happening. That's weird. That's insane to me. And to me, it's weird. Like with the Logan Paul, he's 0-1, and that's what DAZN. That's like one of DAZN's biggest fight. I don't know, man. I feel like it would be better if DAZN had some boxing fights that people were like genuinely super excited for, because then these influencer entertainment fights would be just an add-on. But how are these influencer fights more relevant than the boxing you're putting on? That's weird. That's really weird. But it is what it is. I thought Wilder versus Fury promo on Fox was brilliant. The the other thing that's weird about the YouTube shit is you're making a circus of boxing, because it's embarrassing to have Canelo waiting for UFC 244, but then KSI Logan Paul don't conflict with nothing. So the fight that you're supposed to really be making sure its image is not tarnished, you definitely tarnish his image waiting for UFC 244, but you didn't do that with KSI Logan Paul. You're putting out more energy and content, making these YouTube promotions and hoping that they're successful. I don't know, man. It's a ugly look. Canelo, they said he might not fight Ryota Murata. Now, Caleb Smith, that's not a big fight right now, the way he looked in his last fight. This is probably the worst. If Caleb Smith just won the World Boxing Super Series or Hassan Ndam performance, that would have been a better time to fight him. You waited till he looked horrible and lost to John Ryder to fight him. That's not good. He said Ryota Murata has a record of 16-2. That's what I'm saying, bro. Canelo man fans are full of shit. Ryota Murata is 16-2. Not relevant outside of Japan. John Ryder really beat Caleb Smith, and Billy Joe Saunders looked horrible for the better part of 11 rounds against an unknown guy. These are the Canelo options. But they refuse to make Charlo entertain a fight with him, Demetrius Andrade. They want to say Andrade looked so bad, but he's undefeated. He didn't look. Who looked worse? I think Andrade looked better than Billy Joe Saunders. because he got a knockdown in the first round. He wasn't struck. Billy Joe Saunders looked like he was on his way to losing. Put it this way: if Billy Joe Saunders didn't create a knockdown, he might have lost that fight if the scoring was right. Because there's only 2 more rounds. So if he would have won round 11, and then 12 was a swing round, he could have lost that fight for sure. He came dangerously close. Andrade at no point was in danger of losing the fight, but Canelo won't fight him. So we're gonna see. Bro, he doesn't want to fight that style. I'm telling you. He could have fought Canelo, could have fought Andrade or Charlo at 150. He could have fought either Charlo at 154, 155. He don't want it. He just don't want to. They trying to build fake legacy. Oh, 4 division champ, whatever. Another thing I think is hurting DAZN, the undercards. Name a DAZN undercard that was a hit, where the undercard was a hit. Name a DAZN undercard that was successful, like where you were like super excited for, like even like Badu Jack versus Jean Pascal. That was a good undercard fight. That was a good ass fight for Tank Davis versus Gamboa. The co-main and the main event were dope. I enjoyed them. I was there. But when Canelo fights, you're just really looking out for Canelo for the most part. You're looking for the Canelo, the actual main event. Make sure you guys smash the like button. That's a good point, done deal. And see, the worst part about it is Joshua Ruiz under-delivered for what we thought it was going to be. The first one was dope. That second one definitely didn't add up. Anyway, that's my time. I'm done. I said what I need to say. The bottom line is you just got to produce. DAZN needs a hit ASAP. They got to find that way. Like, they're actually making boxing harder to follow. I find DAZN cards long and boring. They do be having some long-ass boxing cards for sure. But they got to find a hit. Like David Benavidez, Anthony Durrell, Sean Porter versus Errol Spence, Jose Cito Lopez, John Molina, Mario Barrios, and the guy he fought the Eliminator with, Joey Spencer. Bro, that undercard was better than anything I've seen on DAZN top to bottom. I can't think of a DAZN. Like, for example, Mikey Garcia, Jesse Vargas. Who's on the undercard? Name the fight. Who's on the fight card? Mikey Garcia, Jesse Vargas. Who's on Triple G, Derevchenko undercard? Who? Triple G, Derevchenko. Who's on the undercard? Don't know exactly. Nobody does. These are European Uber drivers. That's what I'm saying. Like, so good luck with this American takeover stuff. Anyway, that's my time. I hope you guys have a good night. I'll be back with some more heat coming up soon. We're going to start this week off right. Mamba mentality. I don't know. Old Media got to do something because they looking dry right now. We lit. They looking dry. My Niners lost, but we still lit. It's still Niner gang. Peace out to everybody. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in. Just, I want to do a little quick stream. Enjoy. I'll be back with some more heat, though.